Today, I got a whole bunch of NBA foreshadowing moments. Moments that weren't really seen as much of anything at first, but in hindsight, it all makes sense now. When the Golden State Warriors faced off against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2015 NBA Finals, Jason Tatum took the Warriors to win the series in 6 games. As you can see by this tweet with the date and everything. Fast forward 7 years later, that's exactly how these 2022 NBA Finals turned out, with the Warriors winning in 6 games. Now, obviously by no means was this tweet a prediction for anything other than the 2015 NBA Finals, but it's still crazy how he unintentionally foreshadowed how his series with the Warriors would end up transpiring. His teammate Jaylen Brown definitely knew what his future held. He can be seen in this clip ultimately nailing this prediction before he was even drafted.
I'm Jaylen Brown, California, Berkeley, right up the street. One day I'll be here in this final. It'll mean everything. I want to get here so bad. I will be here.
It looks like he confidently knew all along, but what he didn't know was that there was a clue literally right behind him the whole time. A clue to what team he would end up going to, the Boston Celtics. It's interesting how there was Celtics green in the background of this clip, where he stated that he would be in the finals soon enough too, in the Warriors building of all places, right before getting drafted by the Celtics. Now, this guy wishes he could join Tatum and Brown when it comes to successful predictions, but he failed miserably.
This is 18-year-old Jack Bienvenu, who went out back in March and got a Celtics 2022 NBA Champions tattoo on his arm. Jack told us he's confident the Celtics are destined to pull this one off. If not, though, he posted on Instagram back in March, there's always laser surgery. Hey, Katie, what's up, bro?
It's time to assemble.
A word?
If you guys didn't know, that was from an NBA 2K17 commercial. And as we all know, it looks like that's exactly what KD and Kyrie ended up doing, assembling. They even unintentionally, or intentionally, depending on what you want to believe, foreshadowed Jimmy Butler and Karl Anthony Towns teaming up as well.
Jimmy's listening.
It's time to assemble.
It's time to assemble, Carl. I told you we should come out here, man.
Another foreshadowing moment was when Kyle Lowry tried to crash the set of Heat TV during the 2020 NBA All-Star Weekend. And what Butler said to Lowry is pretty insane in hindsight.
This is Heat TV? Yes, Heat TV.
This is Heat TV. Welcome to the Heat TV. Heat TV. Welcome to Heat TV.
I think that's legal.
Yeah, that aged extremely well, as they are now teammates on the Heat. Who knows, maybe that little playful interaction is exactly what Kyle Lowry needed when it came to deciding what team he should play for next. A player's very first possession or two ever in his career can end up saying a lot about him. For example, Steph Curry's very first shot attempt he ever took in the NBA was none other than a 3-pointer.
Because Curry stole the ball. Puts up a 3.
How about that? The rookie in his first game in the NBA makes a steal and goes down and jacks up a 3 after an assist.
He did miss it, but nevertheless, how fitting is that? Little did we know, he would end up being the best to ever do it when it comes to that particular spot on the court.
Curry has not shot the ball well yet, but he has shown in the college game that he can shoot it, and it will come for him.
Again, here's Curry for the record. It's good! There it is! Stephen Curry, the all-time three-point king in the NBA!
Now, while that was pretty symbolic, his teammate Draymond Green's first ever shot was even more symbolic. Pay attention to what happens immediately after he knocks down his first ever field goal.
First NBA basket, and it's a 3, and he gets a tossing technical after after he makes the shot.
Did you catch that? He hilariously received a technical foul basically before his career even began. If that wasn't foreshadowing for what was to come in his career, then I don't know what to tell you. A little while ago, I was flipping through the channels trying to find something to watch, and I stumbled upon a very interesting episode of My Wife and Kids. Usually, I would have just kept skimming through the channels, just in case there was something better to watch, but I saw that it said something about LeBron in the description of the episode, so of course I gave it a shot. It was Season 4, Episode 19, titled Outbreak Monkey from February 2004, which was in the midst of LeBron's rookie season. And it was basically about Damon Wayans' character, Michael, desperately trying not to get sick in a household where the rest of his family is sick. And the reason he was trying to avoid getting sick is so he can be able to go see LeBron at a Cavs and Knicks game at Madison Square Garden. He manages to go to the game and somehow even meets LeBron before the game, but he sneezes in his hand right before he shakes LeBron's hand. Which caused LeBron to get sick himself and was forced to miss the game, as everybody in the building blamed Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? LeBron James will be unable to play tonight due to a sudden attack of the flu, given to him by...
I didn't mean to get him sick. I was just trying to be friendly.
Now, I bring this up because, as we all know, LeBron actually ended up getting COVID not too long ago in real life. Or at least he tested positive for COVID, I should say. Okay, sure. I know he was bound to get sick sometime after that episode. I mean, for Pete's sake, this episode came out 18 years ago. So, of course, he was gonna get sick eventually. But when you consider that that entire episode from 2004 basically mirrors everything that has been going on recently, I think it's pretty crazy. And you'll think so too if you go watch it yourself. I also happened to catch this episode while LeBron was actually in the NBA's health and safety protocol back in December, which kinda gave me goosebumps at the time. I noticed something strange in Game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals. It was towards the end of overtime when I spotted this scar that LeBron had on the side of his head. My first reaction was, oh look, that's the scar that he got from when he crashed into the cameraman that one time. But then I was like, wait a second, that cameraman incident didn't even happen yet at this point. This was from 2013, and when he crashed into the cameraman wasn't until 2015. How could that be? The timeline just doesn't make sense. Go to the full game of Game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals. Make sure it's the actual NBA YouTube channel, and then go to around the 2 hour and 8 minute mark, and you'll see the scar that I thought he got from 2 years later in 2015, on the same side of the head in virtually the same spot. Now, one could argue that the scar that he obtained from the camera is actually the top one, which just happened to be near the 2013 one, that's all. Well, if you look closely, the bottom one is also bleeding, indicating that it's fresh. Mike Breen even says something himself that supports that theory.
There's the cut on the head. Wow. A couple of them. Again, he went in with some momentum when he crashed into the camera.
I know I'm probably reaching here, and that scar could just be a result of a hair transplant or something, I don't know. But regardless of how it got there, it's still technically foreshadowing for what was to happen in the near future.